Okay, we're looking at Mr. Hinton's recommended websites for Civil War information. So I'm going to click on some of these websites and just show you some of the stuff you may find useful for working on our research project. First is the National Park Service, which is nps.gov. The National Park Service has a number of different parks, especially if you have a battle or a battlefield, there's probably information available. So if you just click on the search, for example, I could do Gettysburg, and you'll see I will get websites to the battle summary. The battle summaries are probably what you're looking for. These would be really good examples of information that you could use. If we go back to my recommended website list, we have the History Channel. Again, think of this as an online encyclopedia. If you search for certain information in the search bar, which is located right here, and I can do Gettysburg. Let's do Gettysburg Address. And it will bring up a number of short articles that I can look at on the Gettysburg Address. Again, going back to recommended websites, the Library of Congress is the world's largest library. And you could search for collection highlights. You could also search loc.gov up here. If I take you back to the page I recommended, there are select sources on the Civil War, such as maps and different collections. We have music and sound recordings, photographs, etc. There's even some web quests you may find interesting. I'm going to close out some of my excess tabs over here. Go back to the recommended websites. There we go. PBS.org is another great one that you may find interesting. And if you find any of these as videos, again, your search is up here. If you search PBS, for example, I will use Gettysburg as my go-to example here. There are lots of different things, including the full episode of Lincoln at Gettysburg, which you could watch free and online. Going back, we have the American Memory Project. If you remember the slave narrative activity we did a number of weeks ago, that is the information you may find here, different types of stuff along those lines. You also have the National Archives, which is archives.gov. This may be a great source if you do research our records. Again, the search tool is right over here. Other recommended websites, the Smithsonian has a website dealing specifically with the Civil War. I'm going to skip to the homepage. There's different collections. There's a timeline of the Civil War, which you may find useful, especially in studying and preparing for our upcoming test. I go back to the recommended websites. There's the Civil War Medical Museum. Some of you may find this interesting for those of you doing medical and surgery type topics. We'll let that load a little bit. So I may want to go to the Clara Barton Missing Soldiers Office Museum. This is going to have some information on Clara Barton and the founding of the Red Cross. I click on Clara's story here, for example. And look, there I have some background information on Clara Barton, founder of the American Red Cross. Again, the important thing to note is that these are recommendations. You may find your own sources and get them approved by me. Please remember the other day we looked at Gale in the library, and many of you are finding some very good articles through that database. So have fun with this project and happy researching. Hinton out.